Hello, 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 and hello again. It is nice to see you here. Sorry for the delay. Tech issues, sometimes you have no control over them. They've got a mind of their own. So, but anyway, we got there in the end. So we're grateful. We're grateful. Thank God for this opportunity. And now we have a beautiful guest, a lovely guest. She's so busy, but she had to make time out of no time, like all of our guests, to be here with us to educate us, for us to learn from um, the realities of life. And hey, it is for youth. So if you've got your youth around, call them in because you want them to learn to have the skills even before they grow older. I wish I had the skills. I wish I had someone to tell me this before I got to this stage, this age, and it would have really helped immensely. So we have someone who is a coach, she's a consultant, she's into management and finance. She is an entrepreneur, 20 years of executive, C suite, and so many other qualifications under her belt, or would I say on her hat. So, and I welcome you to the screen. She is a Fiji sister like you. I always bring our Fiji sisters here, and yeah, Fiji sisters, Fiji color girls are successful ladies. We are no more girls; we are ladies, doing great things in the works of life. So thank you very much for coming, viewers, those who are online. Thank you, and I introduce to you my one and only Mrs. Funke AlolmoOluwa. Thank you very much for
Nice
coming on.
meeting you. Nice
Thank
meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I scratched the the tip of the iceberg, I'll say. So I would like you to please introduce yourself.
Sorry, what's the question?
Oh, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you so much. My name is Funke AlolmoOluwa. I'm the managing consultant of Madop Associates Limited. So just as Bumi said, one of the things we do in Madop Associates Limited is to actually help business owners to build transgenerational businesses. So we support business owners, we support founders in ensuring that their business is able to outlive them. So this is because based on just as she has said, based on my 20 years experience in the corporate sector, so I now discovered that so many business owners and founders cannot afford to employ somebody who is of my status. So what I now do is to actually bring all the experience I've acquired over the years in the areas of IT, in the areas of finance, in the areas of human resource, in the areas of sales and marketing, and even executive leadership to actually help them to achieve their business goals while also ensuring that we're able to institutionalize a very solid culture. Yes. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
And
Thank you
I'm also
very
a
much.
tech, like you said.
Yes. Thank you very much for coming in. And another Fedi sister is here, rooted for us, saying, lovely to see you both, Bubi and Funke. Thank you very much, Fedi sister Mabola Aguda. Thank you very much, Sister Tokumbo. Yes. So before I go on to the Instagram and how people can contact you, we have a couple of questions for you. And the first one is, how can young adults begin building a solid financial foundation for their future?
Young adults needs to start building a solid financial foundation for their future. First, by acquiring knowledge. Knowledge is very important. So they need to start studying, they need to start reading, they need to start changing their mindsets. They need that paradigm shift. So the first place to start is through acquiring knowledge by reading books that actually help them to be financial literate. And there are so many books that are out there that really teaches about financial literacy. We have all the we have all the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, we have cash flow quadrants, we have guides to budget, guides to investing. So we have the Richest Man in Babylon, We have Think and Grow Rich. So that is the first place that young people need to start in order to acquire the right knowledge that is actually necessary for them in order to build a solid financial future. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that straight to the point answer. Acquire knowledge. And for you to acquire knowledge, you need to go to where the knowledge is,
Yeah.
get information. And we know all around us, it's available everywhere. So, my next question for you is, well, for those who are just joining in, thank you very much for coming online. We see you. We can, please write a comment, share the video, because we have youths who are watching and who need to actually hear this. And there's some adults too who have missed it but are trying to navigate their way back. It's better to Yorubas will say "Tiwaju ba se lo, eyin a se pada si," in the sense that if you're struggling, you think, yeah, go back to the basics and start learning these things. So thank you very much. Simple answer. Acquire knowledge. The next one is, what are the key concepts of budgeting, and how can young individuals start budgeting effectively?
In terms of budgeting, there are a few things one needs to know. Budgeting is like planning. The first rule is, do not spend more than you earn. Do not spend more than you earn. So you are a young person, maybe you are in school, you have a pocket money, maybe your pocket money is any amount. So the first thing is to make sure that you budget it. You sit down before you even start spending the money to decide, how much do I want to spend on each item. Write a list, don't just assume that, oh, you just start spending. Don't start spending. Prepare a list. When you prepare that list, this money, what is the period is going to cover? If it's going to cover 30 days, how do I stretch? Can I do without? What is it that I cannot do without? And in terms of budgeting, there are a few things to actually have in mind beyond the fact that you shouldn't spend more than you are earning. Even if you are a young adult, you are working, you are beginning to earn money and all that. So one of the things is, decide that everything I get is from God. So I need to give back. You can make up your mind to give back in terms of 10%. So we are speaking about a young adult now that is not a student. You can give back 10%. You can give 10%. So some call it tithe or whichever way, or charity. Also decide that out of that amount, there's an amount that you are going to spend on necessities. Maybe you can decide, depending on whichever stage that adult is in life. For so many people, it ranges between 50 to 70%. It's also good to decide that you are going to give 10% to personal development. So you want to buy books to read. You want to buy books to read. You want to attend courses. You want to do self-improvement. That takes another 10%. Now, there are people who also decide that they will give 10% back to society. I'm sure there's always somebody that you know that doesn't have as much as you do, that you can actually give back to. And these are the type of giving that when you give, is that giving that you are giving to God. Some people who are poorer than you, people who need it. And another thing you can also decide is to say you are going to take 10% and use it for investments. And the reason that is important is because that is actually going to help you with financial freedom. So if you start very early in life and assume that you are going to have maybe a 10 to 20 years career span, do you know what that would have accumulated to if you start investing 10%? If you start saving and investing 10% of your income over that period of time, So those are basic concepts that can be followed in terms of financial, not just financial intelligence now. Yes, now you are now moving from financial intelligence to financial freedom. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So you talked about percentages. I'm sure we're going to have some people might be asking, "Oh, can we have a summary of those percentages so that they
Okay,
can use it as a model for their own
that's fine.
child or to advise their children?" Okay, so I'm sure is it somewhere on your website or I mean
I
on
can
your
always make
Instagram?
that.
You
I
make
can
it
always make
available.
that available.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Next question is, what advice do you have for young people for their long-term financial goals?
Okay, thank you so much. So I shared a little about that. My Instagram handle is at @AlolmoOluwa.
Yes,
@AlolmoOluwa. So I will also do a write-up and put it there. Now,
yes.
in terms of investing, you ask the question that how can we educate young individuals? Okay,
What advice do you have for young people when it comes to saving and investing for their long-term financial goals?
saving and investing for their long term. So I already shared a little bit of that. So
Yeah.
whatever you are earning today, it makes sense if you're able to save a minimum of 10%. Now,
Mm,
if you are the type that you do not have a lot of responsibilities, it's not as if you have too many dependent ratio, it makes sense for you to do more than 10%. So if you save this 10% over a period of time, it will be very good for you to actually start plowing them into other into to start converting them into investment. That is, you are actually moving them from savings now. You now begin to look at fixed deposits, mutual funds. You are looking at fixed deposits, you are looking at mutual funds. Now, when I say fixed deposits and mutual funds, that is taking into consideration that that fund that is like an emergency fund that you can fall back on. But if it is fund that you not really need, you can begin to look at stocks and shares. Yes, people may say that the stock market is very volatile, but there are certain economies, there are certain industries, that certain sectors that are doing very well. So it makes sense for you to start buying them. I'm sure if you have a 5,000 naira, there are some companies that you can just buy a few units. So it makes sense for you to have a stock account with your broker and you buy those good companies. Now, when you start buying those things, the good thing is that you will not just get dividend at the end of the day, which you may not even need, but it is the capital appreciation that really matters. So you can do that. Another thing that you can also invest in as a young person, beyond the fact that you are buying shares, is you can also buy land. Some of you can come together, maybe you are very good friends, 5 of you, 10 of you, 20 of you can come together to acquire some property that will start yielding rental income for you. And the good thing about land is you can always buy land no matter how much you have, depending on the area. An area that you say, oh, today is I'm sure the time when people, if you look at Nigeria now, the time when some people were staying in Surulere and people were beginning to buy the Lekki axis, some people felt, ja, that place is in the bush, but you can know that that is all story. So those are some of the things that can be done. If you accumulate all these things, you put it in savings, you put it in fixed deposits, the money accumulates over a period of time, you can now begin to buy shares, buy land, and other investments like that.
That takes me back. I wanted because I'm sure some youths are listening and say, I'm still in school. I don't even know anything about what it's like. It's up there. I've never started working. Where do I get the money from? Da da da. And I am thinking maybe first thing. Do you think how do they maybe starting from their pocket money? If they've been given pocket money, they've not even started earning anything. How do they gain financial intelligence?
So thank you so much. You know, the question we first, the answer we first gave is that the first thing is for you to even, in terms of gaining financial intelligence, is for you to
Knowledge.
start knowledge.
Yeah.
So many times you go online, you are on YouTube, you are doing different things, you know. Why don't you just start reading, start studying about some of these things? Now, in terms of your pocket money, you can save something from your pocket money. And if you save something from your pocket money, as we have said, when we say somebody is a, maybe the question I should first ask is, when you say young adult, what is your definition? What's the definition of young adult?
Use like from 18, because they're in uni, they're still studying, and they want to get it right. And sometimes there are debts with school fees, or maybe they haven't got to that stage yet where they have full-time employment. Maybe they're doing part-time work while studying, and they're just seeing that every as soon as they get the money, it goes. Nothing to show for it. So they want to be financially intelligent in that area. How can they start? So I
Thank
know you started with the percentages,
you.
and which is really helpful to know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do you know some
So
of those?
now that takes us sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, that takes us to that next question. We're saying, how can we educate young people about the importance of managing debt responsibilities and being financially
Okay.
intelligent?
So
Thank you.
when we talk about debt responsibility, the first thing is for a young person is try to live within your means. Try to live within your means. A debtor is a slave, except you want to borrow the money for the purpose of doing business. I don't see any reason why a young person should be going into debt. What do you want to buy now? You need to be content with what you have now. A time is coming in your life when you can choose to buy as many things as you want. A time is coming when you can decide to buy, you can make up your mind that for the next 3 weeks you don't want to wear one cloth 2 times, you know. By that time you can afford it. So I don't even see any reason why a young person should be
Mm,
going into debt. It should be a no, no, no. Live within your means today. The other thing that you asked about a young person that some of, do you know some of these 16, 18 people, they are very 16, 18, 20 people, 20 years old. Do you know some of them are rich?
oh yeah.
There are some of them that are on business, that are on campus, and they do have businesses. I remember when I was on campus, there was a lady that had a studio where she was taking pictures, you know, and they all do different businesses today, you know. I know people are in secondary school that are doing business, and by the time they start telling you that their business money is so and so amount, out of that amount they can still take something and put it into shares. They
Mm.
can still take something and put it into their savings account. Some of them have piggy vests. You know, there are some of them that are making different things, you know. There are some of them that are on campus there, and they are making air, and they are making a lot of money. Some of them are doing nails, they are doing different things. So I do not want us to say that they don't have money. Some of them have money. Yeah.
So would you say you encourage them to learn a skill or
Yes.
vocation that can add money to their purses? They don't have to go to school with the mentality that, oh, I'm going to get that job. Why can't you start with being an entrepreneur, even from a very young age? So
Yes.
I want you to shed more light on that, please.
Okay. So in today's world, it's very important that not just the brain is trained, the hand also needs to be trained. The hand just needs to be trained along with the brain. So while you are in school, they come home on holidays, they are at home for 3 months, they are at home for 6 months, they are at home for 4 months. Those are opportunities to actually learn a skill.
Mm.
And what I've seen young people do these days is that they learn skills that are very useful to them while they are on campus. Some of them learn how to do makeup. And you know the different events they do on campus. They do makeup. Maybe it's matriculation day. They do makeup for all the people that are matriculating, you know. Maybe it's somebody's birthday, they do makeup for that person, and that way they are schooling. At the same time, they're also making some money. Not only do some of them do makeup, some of them do nails, you know. In fact, shaving eyebrow, some of them do that. So they do different things. Some of them go back to campus, and when they are going back to campus, they buy a few things that they can sell, that they know that people are going to need while they are on campus, and they sell all those things and they make money. So it's very important that when they are on holiday, they actually acquire skills that can help them. Very,
Yeah.
very important.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've said so much. I know people will be like, "Oh, you said this, you said that. How? How?" See the people watching and connecting with us. Please ask your questions if you've got any. While we have Mrs. AlolmoOluwa here, talking to us about youth, how youth can be financially intelligent, because there are different types of intelligence, not just book
Yeah.
intelligence, I'll say, academic intelligence that we can see in our world today. There's a need for extra added to that. You need to add value to that academics with being financially savvy, being financially intelligent. So many people might be like, "Oh, how can we contact you? How can we learn more?" I know you've talked about it before. It's on Instagram. You can connect with her at AlolmoOluwa, and if you have any questions, further questions, please write in the chat, write in the comments, share the video with your youths, and let us all learn together. Thank you very much, Peggy sister, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So, yes, if you've got any questions, like I said, please send it in. We've spent 22 minutes already. Wow, how time flies when you're having fun. Thank you very much, ma'am,
you.
and I really appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. You've heard it all from our one and only consultant, and so many hats we can learn from ourselves. So please use this opportunity. Send your one of the youths our way so they can learn how to be financially intelligent. First thing is have knowledge about what you are craving, what you're passionate about. Gain knowledge, and once you gain the knowledge, you're able to move up the ladder of being financially intelligent. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. And hey, happy Independence Day for Nigeria tomorrow. All right, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.